guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Renee, for those who do not know me yet, and welcome. That's what I meant to say. And if you've been here before, welcome back, boo. So today I'm just gonna be giving out some freshman advice to freshmen because I am a college graduate. Yes. I'm so glad to finally be out of that stage of my life, despite me actually not minding it sometimes, because now I have to pay back these loans. Now I have to get a 9-to-5 in corporate America. I literally have to work for the rest of my life now. Like there's nothing after this. It's just work. Like, yeah, there's gonna be some play, but it's really just work. Anyways, I'm getting really off topic. It is getting depressing in here because I'm talking about the rest of my adult life. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell, yeah, and let's get into the video. So first I'm going to talk about like the many ways you can make friends, because I know that is a lot of y'all have that problem. You're like, oh, I'm leaving my high school friends, how will I ever make new friends? Because that was probably my number one worry, especially me going to a PWI. I was super scared, and I was going to a new city. I wasn't staying in my city, so I was low-key scared, and I was like, dang, how am I ever going to make friends? So number one, I would join like group chats or Instagram things, like, or Facebook groups, because there's a lot of those. Like, I know as soon as I knew I was going to Temple, I looked up like Temple class of 2023, because that's the year I graduated, on Instagram, Facebook, even Twitter. And there were groups out there, and there was a lot of people posting like, hi, I'm blase, I'm age, I'm a major, I might have a minor, I'm living in Morgan South. I don't know why I'm actually going through a whole bio, but like, yeah, it's just those things where it's like you can find friends that way. And I know I found friends that way because from like an Instagram I was putting to a group chat. Also, my friend Niall, who's from Pittsburgh, she was going to Temple, so she put me in a group chat, and I made a couple friends that way. I'm not friends with the one girl, but one of the girls I am still friends with, and that is Stevie, as you've seen in a lot of my videos. Yeah, another way is to go outside a lot. Just be one with the people. Just be not in your room. I had a problem with this because I like to stay in my room, but there were times where I actually did just get outside. And like, you can go into the student center, a lot of people are there, and you can like just make friends that way, like be talking about like how nasty the food is. You can go to the bell tower, especially during like really warm days. There's so many people outside. You can make friends that way. There's always like, well, I don't know, I was gonna say there's always a DJ there, but we had Simon, he was the DJ. Yeah, I don't know if y'all are gonna have a DJ. I'm talking about Temple specific. I'm supposed to be talking about all the freshmen out there. I would just say, if there's a place that a lot of students hang out, go hang out with them. Join a club. Now, I technically joined 2 clubs. I just didn't go to, no, actually I was in like 4 clubs. I just didn't go to the meetings because I hated being outside like late, like after my classes. Like, a lot of my classes didn't end until 3. Sometimes there was that one where I had a 4 to 4:50. But literally, if you asked me to hang from 6, anywhere past 6, no, past 7, you weren't going to see me. But I did join 2 clubs, and I ended up staying in those 2 clubs, which was Theater Underground and Temple MCPB. And yeah, I made a lot of friends that way because you're seeing like new faces and becoming accustomed to them. So then every time you see them, you be like, hey. And then once you start saying hey a lot, you start asking, want to get some lunch at the SAC? Want to go to the food court? Yeah. But yeah, join a club. And I don't know if y'all schools had it. My school had it where like in the beginning of each semester, there were like the clubs lined out outside showing like their clubs off, and you can sign up that way. yeah, that's also a good way to like just start getting to know faces and stuff and joining clubs. Yeah. This one's pretty simple. If your roommates are cool, be friends with your roommates, and then you can probably like when they go out and bring friends to the dorm, you can be like, hey, I'm Maya, let's be friends. And then I know at our dorms we had like an open door thing where we'd open the door and like to people walking past, we'll be like, hey. Some people came in, some people came out. We made a lot of like friends that way, which was really fun actually, to just make friends with people that like live in your quarters and stuff. Yeah. Another way is friends of friends, like I kind of mentioned earlier with the roommate thing, but friends of friends, I think that's how me and my group became friends a lot, because I know I was friends with Niall. Stevie and Niall weren't friends. I went to lunch with Niall and Stevie came, so then Stevie and Niall are friends. My friends became friends and we're all still friends. And I kind of met Nola through Niall. No, that's a bad example because I met Nola because I was always in their room. I met Becca through Niall, Stevie, and Nola because they went on vacation. So then I became friends with her. You see, friends of friends. Friends of friends make friends. Yeah. And then lastly, the people in your classes, like the people that you literally are going to see every single day for 3 to 4 months, start saying hi to them. Especially like people that like sit next to you. You'll start to like talk to them. And like a lot of teachers put you in groups. And that's also a good way. Like, despite we all hate groups, but sometimes I did like my groups because I started becoming cool with people. But yeah, I think that's also a good way to make friends, because you see these people every day for 3 to 4 months. Somebody is bound to be besties with somebody, you know? But yeah. Also, you can be friends with your teachers. I wasn't like besties with my one teacher, but we was cool. We were supposed to get lunch, but it was finals for me, so I couldn't. And it was basically finals for her because, I mean, we weren't friends. She was more like a mentor to me, you know? Yeah. Get a favorite teacher and make them your mentor. Do it. Because I promise you life will be easy. Because I was getting into social media, but she was already into like social media stuff. She was like SEO and stuff. So I started learning from her, and she started telling me about all this stuff and all these internships that I can apply for. Get a favorite teacher and make them your mentor, or just be really close to them so you can get like some ins and outs from like what you want to do, like the field you want to go into. Yeah, I would recommend that. So this is for packing for your dorm. Do not, and I repeat, do not bring all your stuff, because if I find out you brought all your stuff, I'm gonna come through the screen. No, I'm not even gonna come to the screen. I'm gonna get in my car, I'm gonna drive to your college, and I'm gonna smack you. Because that is the worst thing I ever did as a freshman, because I had so much. It was worse because of the pandemic and me trying to leave. Because having everything packed up, we bought everything in Philly, which was and then having to leave from Philly to Pittsburgh, it was even more But I'm going to talk about clothes really fast. So I think I found a system that works really good for me. Instead of bringing all my clothes like winter, fall, spring, and summer clothes at once, there is a system that I found works. So that first semester, you have until August until November. Some schools have a break in between August and November, but I didn't. I did not. But from August to November, you have a lot of your like hot weather clothes, because it is hot until maybe October. And then you just have October and November, which, yeah, start bringing out a couple pairs of sweatpants, some sneakers, your little Ugg slippers, yeah, those, some jeans, and a lot of jackets and hoodies. You don't need all of them. I'm just saying. Start bringing those out between October and November, right? You don't need a coat until then. Now, when you go home for Thanksgiving break, basically take a lot of your summer clothes home, all your shorts, your you don't really need to take home your skirts because some people still like to dress up. But your shorts, your tank tops, your little, take all that stuff home. Please take all that home because you will be thankful you did. Because from in between Thanksgiving break to Christmas break, you really only have like 2 to 3 weeks. So you really don't need to bring stuff because you're still going to need your winter clothes for while you're at home for Thanksgiving break, right? So maybe just bring your coat to wear now. You want to bring your coat to wear because it do get cold depending on where you are. I was in Philly. It was still cold in Philly. It's cold in Pittsburgh. They're only 5 hours away. New York, it's even cold in New York. Yeah, I think it's cold in Canada. Anyways, this is besides the point. You want to bring your coat and maybe a couple more sweats and some jeans and some sweaters and long sleeves. And then you leave for Christmas break. You're home. And then you come back. And when you come back from Christmas break, bring almost all your winter clothes. Almost. Not all of them, but a good number of them. And then when you leave for spring break, take half of your winter clothes home because it's still cold. So take half your winter clothes home and start bringing some of your stuff, your like spring stuff home. You only need half and half because mind you, you're only ever going to be in college. It's split in the middle from spring break because spring break is March. Still cold in March. April is still kind of cold in April. And then you only have May. May is really the only warm month that you will need your spring, like your spring summer clothes. So that's why you only split it in half your winter and spring, and then spring and summer. That's all you need. So by the end of the year, you should still have not a lot of clothes. And also, as you're bringing and coming your shoes, or as you're bringing and taking your clothes, do that with shoes too. Now this sounds confusing, but I promise it makes sense. Yeah. Also with packing, like with school supplies, I don't think you need that much because I had one of those really thick notebooks, like the little 5 subjects. Mind you, one of those lasted me 1 whole year of college because I started like I didn't really write in them a lot because some of my classes didn't like require like notes and stuff. And then sometimes I did just take pictures and just have that because I'm not gonna call myself out. I'm not gonna expose myself. I'm a cheater. Anyways, I'm a cheater. But yeah, you really, and then you probably only need like 1 pack of pencils. I brought so many pencils, didn't use half of them. Don't bring all your hair products, only bring half your hair products. All your body products, only bring half of those. So literally everything in your room right now, everything in your house, bring 1/4 to 1/2 of it. Do not bring all of it because I promise you, the dorms are small. Dorms are super small. You will not have room for that because mind you, you're splitting it with someone else. Unless you have a single, do whatever you want to do. And unless you live in that city that you're going to college, do what you got to do. But if you're traveling, bring 1/4 to 1/2 of that stuff, or you will literally find yourself having to leave half that stuff in the city you came to, like I did. I had to leave for the pandemic and ended up having to leave half my stuff because I brought too much of it. Yeah. So studying. I wasn't big on studying because I was an acting major. I was basically learning lines and scenes and stuff. But when I started getting into my social media classes, I did start studying, and that started in junior year. So a lot of the stuff, but it wasn't like hard to study in a way because the way I like to learn is just by hearing something and writing it down. Just hearing something a lot and just writing it down helps me remember stuff a lot. So, but if that's not the way you study, get flashcards. Sometimes you have to write down things like a lot if you're one of those people like hearing it a lot makes you remember it. Flashcards and just doing it over and over. Just always set aside like 30 minutes a day to study and you will be great. Unless your major is more vigorous, set aside an hour. And then also homework, depending on your major, I didn't have a lot of it. Even with my social media classes, I didn't have a lot of it. But I promise you, I gotta put my one foot down. I gotta put both my feet down on the ground for this one. Homework. Do not wait to do it. Do it as soon as you get it. Because I promise you, waiting, your work pile starts to load up, and that's when it becomes bad. So I recommend doing the homework as soon as you get it. I've learned my lesson. My freshman and sophomore year of my freshman and sophomore year of college, I used to just keep putting off my work, and then I got more stressed because I was getting more work as the days went on, especially when it was those weeks where it was like, oh, I only have like 1 or 2 things to do. I'll just do it later. No, do it right then and there, because the following week you will have like 10 assignments to do. So please, if there is anything you do in college, disregard anything else I've said at this point, unless it's this. Do your homework as soon as you get it that day. It doesn't even have to be right after you get it, like in the class. She said the homework assignment, you do it right then and there. Just do it that same day. I promise you, your life will be so much better. It will be so much easier. Yeah, just do that homework, please. And I probably sound like a hypocrite saying this because I didn't do that half the time, but I want you to do it. I want you to be better than me. I want you to take where I went wrong and make it right. I want you to turn my wrongs into a right, you know? Yeah, I want you to turn my lefts into a right. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. How to manage time, because not only do you want to go out, you want to talk to your friends, homework, studying. I manage my time by I put things in different I compartmentalize. Yeah. So I would look at like my times and my days basically, and I always set aside my weekends, especially for my friends. Like I did all my homework throughout like the school days, because everybody's like not going to be able to hang out because everybody's doing their work. So those are the best days to do your work, and then set aside your weekends for your friends. And even if you do hang out like on the weekdays, some people are going to be in classes. Like in between your classes, do your homework, study, and then go out with your friends like later. You can even have lunch or dinner with them, but still after that or before that, work. That's how I like manage my time the best I could. And also, I think it's really good, like once you come home and your day is done for classes, I think even just taking that hour when you get home just for yourself. I know for me, as soon as I got home, I went to the bathroom, I laid on my bed, and I sat on my phone for an hour before I started doing my work, because I needed that time for me to like refresh from classes, stop thinking about classes for just that little bit of time. I think that made me do a lot better in I think that made me do a lot better in school, because I wasn't just doing what everybody wanted to do, doing what my teachers want me to do, doing my homework and studying. Just taking that little hour once you get home from classes, even if you make it 2 hours, it helps a lot. That little bit of time goes a long way, because then I felt refreshed after being on TikTok for an hour or two. After making a couple TikToks, I felt great. But yeah, just take that little bit of time to yourself, and then get into your homework, and then maybe you'll be done by 7, and you can like talk to your friends, go to your friend's room, whatever else, go out and party. Yeah, but yeah, compartmentalizing your time is well worth it, and it will probably benefit you in the end. Just taking like, especially things of importance, things that need to be done first, doing that stuff first. Like if you know you have a project, do that first, because it's a project. Those things are worth a lot of points. So do that first. Even your test, as soon as you get it, especially if you go over the material that day, take the test that day, so all that stuff is still fresh in your mind. Don't wait like 2 days until like the day before it's due and be like, oh, I don't remember what this means. No, take that test that same day. You will be so glad you did. Picking a meal plan. So I think for my first semester of college, I think it was 2 meals a day for 7 days, like the whole week. From Monday to Sunday, I had 2 meals a day. breakfast I usually ate at my house, so that's why I was fine with the 2 meals a day. I would have lunch and I would have dinner later. And I think that was the best meal plan that Temple offered. Like for at least like incoming freshmen that you can't really cook your own food. You really can't go grocery shopping because you're really on campus and you're trying to get into that groove of school. I think that's help. So if your school offers a meal plan that gives you like 14 to 16 meals a week, do that, because you will be so happy you have that food. Like you're not like scourging for food as a freshman in a new place, mind you. All I had to do was go right downstairs to the Morgan Dining Hall, get me some lunch, get me some dinner, go right back upstairs to my house, my dorm. But yeah, I would say as a freshman or even as a sophomore, choose the meal plans with the most meals, because you can't really make food in your dorm and you're going to be hungry. So yeah, as a junior and a senior, you can start going lower because you have to get an apartment and therefore you're not really on campus. So you don't have to get a meal plan, like you can, but you're not obligated to. So yeah, as a freshman and a sophomore, I would definitely recommend not getting like the most amount of meal plans, but just that happy medium, like 15 to 16 meals a week at least. Yeah, or 14 to 28 meals. So 28 is if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you get 3 meals a day for 7 days. But I ate breakfast at my house. Like I said, I always ate like a bagel or some cereal, or even made a smoothie. Get a smoothie blender, a blender. Them smoothies hit. But also my college had like 2 smoothie places, so it didn't really matter where I got a smoothie. I could make it myself, or I could just use my meal plan and go there. But yeah, 14 to 28 meals a week. Remember that. Apply for scholarships because college is expensive. Now, I was a theater student with a minor in social media marketing and advertising, but because I was this theater student, my tuition was only $18 a year, which is $9,000 a semester, in which a lot of my tuition was covered by scholarships, which is why I would say scholarships. Like, you really don't think they do much, even if they're just like $1,000 to $2,000 to $5,000. That little bit will go a long way, mind you. It will help you out in the end. So I would recommend applying for scholarships early, like when you're a junior or senior in high school, to even being a senior in college, because those scholarships go a long way. Like, I remember I won a scholarship my college senior year. Mind you, I would have had to come $1,000 out of pocket to pay for school, because my last 2 years, for some reason, I had to come $1,000 out of pocket just for the first fall semester, but for the spring semester I didn't. But I had a scholarship and it was just $1,000. Best thing ever. I did not have to come $1,000 out of pocket that year. It definitely ate. It did what it was supposed to do. Yeah. If you're one of those people thinking, should I bring my car to college? Don't do it. It's really not worth it unless you need to go off campus a lot. But literally a lot of the things that you will need are on campus in walkable distance. Like, you will be paying for parking to go absolutely nowhere. I have a lot of people that had cars and their cars literally stayed on campus, like never went anywhere. Because even like your school sometimes will have like buses that travel. Like, I don't go to Pitt or CMU, but I live in the city with them, and I know they have like shuttles that literally from their campus, and they go like to the Target, to the Giant Eagle that's not there anymore, but they go like around like the area, and there's so many places in the area to like shop, eat, and all of that. And it'll like take around the area of like Shadyside, East Liberty, Oakland, yeah, and like Temple. Everything was like walking distance on campus. Like all the food places, there were some stores, like even clothing stores that were like walkable distance. So a lot of the stuff that you will need is literally there. Like, I promise you, you maybe don't even need a car on campus until your junior or senior year, because you're probably not going to be on campus, you're going to be off campus. So for anybody who's a freshman or sophomore, I do not recommend bringing that car. Take these off first. Mind you, I'm finally editing this video and it comes to mind, I never talked about picking classes and like what times are best, and it's basically around that. So I would recommend not taking 8 and 9 a.m.s. Like if you're a strong person and you're a morning person, then I would definitely recommend taking an 8 or 9 a.m. But I feel like the perfect time to wake up and go to a class is 10. And I don't know what it is, but 10 o'clock has always been like the perfect time that not only for me, but a lot of people I know to go to class. And then I think a perfect ending time for like your day is like it's in between like 1 to 3 o'clock. Only because after those times, you still have so much time left in the day, basically. Yeah, so I would recommend starting your day at 10 a.m. Because also waking up at 10 a.m., you still have like time to like take a couple seconds to yourself, because you're waking up at like 9 a.m. basically. So you can still eat breakfast, get breakfast, because you're not waking up so early where you're too tired to do any of that stuff. Because trust me, when I had 8 and 9 a.m.s, I wasn't eating. I was just waking up, getting dressed, and going to class because I wanted that extra time to sleep. But at the same time, if you are a morning person and you know you can wake up and be there in class, like when I say there, I don't mean physically, I mean mentally there in class, then by all means take the class that's at 8 or 9 a.m. and end your day early at like 12 or 1. Do that. But yeah. And then I also recommend taking the lot of your classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just because I think those are the 50-minute days. Because I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday are the 50-minute classes, and Tuesday and Thursday are usually the 1 hour and 20-minute classes. But I will say, I think my Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I had the 1 hour, 20-minute classes, I will only ever have like 2 classes that day. And then my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I would have like at least 3 to 4 classes, depending on like how many credits you need. So from taking that knowledge, if you want your Mondays and your Fridays to be light, I recommend taking, and I'm saying Mondays and Fridays because, or even Wednesday, because it's the middle of the week and you feel like you need like a break. But definitely Mondays and Fridays, because like you're starting your week and you're ending your week, so you probably want those to be lightest. I would recommend taking more Tuesday and Thursday classes. So that is the lot of the advice, like the main things you need to know for college, I would think, at least, because that's a lot of the stuff that I worried about. But my sister is going to college, so if she asks me any questions, I'll make an extra clip, because this video isn't coming out for another 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks from the dates of this video dropping. Because I'm saying this video is not coming out for another 2 weeks, but it's literally out. But my sister is going to college, so if she asks me anything between the 2 weeks before this video is posted, I'll just drop random clips throughout the video. But yeah, that is the end, and I hope this video helps someone somewhere with college. Yeah, so thank you for watching and love you. Bye.
When the sky is blue and my pink 4-2 and my boys